An electrical panel's placement in a kitchen within a single-family dwelling is often governed by adherence to the National Electrical Code, or NEC. While there isn't a specific code provision that explicitly prohibits an electrical panel in a kitchen, the installation must comply with general safety regulations and working space requirements. The claim that an electrical panel cannot be located where someone could touch it and a kitchen sink simultaneously doesn't directly align with standard NEC practices. The NEC mandates sufficient working space around electrical equipment to ensure safety for personnel operating or maintaining the equipment. This working space is outlined in NEC Article 110.26, which specifies minimum distances for clear space in front of electrical equipment, as well as width and height requirement. The depth of the working space, measured from the front of the equipment, varies depending on the voltage to ground and the conditions present on the opposite side of the working space. For example, if the voltage to ground is between 0 and 150 volts, and there's exposed live parts on one side and grounded parts or grounded metal on the other side, the minimum clear working space is 3 feet. If the voltage to ground is between 151 and 600 volts under the same conditions, the minimum clear working space increases to 3 feet 6 inches. These distances are designed to provide adequate room for electricians to safely perform their work without being exposed to electrical hazards. The width of the working space should be at least 30 inches wide, or the width of the equipment, whichever is greater, ensuring that there's enough lateral space for movement and operation. The height of the working space must be at least 6 feet 6 inches, or the height of the equipment, whichever is greater, providing enough headroom for personnel. In the context of a kitchen, the presence of a sink could be interpreted by an inspector as creating a potentially wet or grounded environment, increasing the risk of electrical shock. However, this interpretation doesn't automatically preclude the installation of an electrical panel in the kitchen. Instead, it emphasizes the importance of adhering to the working space requirements and ensuring that the panel is properly grounded and protected. Moreover, it's critical to ensure that the electrical panel is not located in a damp or wet location as defined by the NEC. Article 110.11 addresses deterioration of equipment, which states that equipment should be protected from physical damage. Article 110.13 addresses mounting and cooling of equipment, where equipment should be firmly secured to the surface on which it is mounted and not prevent effective circulation of air where the equipment is dependent upon natural ventilation. The NEC also addresses the requirements for dedicated equipment space in 110.26e. This dedicated space extends from the floor to a height of 6 feet above the equipment or to the structural ceiling, whichever is lower. No piping, ducts, or other equipment foreign to the electrical installation can be located in this dedicated space. Exceptions are permitted for equipment that protects the electrical installation, such as fire suppression systems or suspended ceilings. To address a situation where an inspector raises concerns about the proximity of an electrical panel to a kitchen sink, it's helpful to take several steps. Firstly, carefully review the relevant sections of the NEC, particularly Article 110.26, to ensure that the installation meets the working space requirements. Secondly, document the measurements of the working space around the panel, including the distance from the front of the panel to any obstructions, the width of the clear space, and the height of the headroom. Thirdly, if possible, obtain a written explanation from the inspector detailing the specific code sections that he or she believes are being violated. This documentation can be valuable in understanding the inspector's concerns and in formulating a response. If there is disagreement with the inspector's interpretation of the code, it's appropriate to seek clarification from a higher authority, such as the inspector's supervisor or the local electrical code enforcement agency. These authorities can provide additional guidance and help resolve any disputes. It's also important to maintain a respectful and professional demeanor throughout the process, as a collaborative approach is more likely to lead to a positive outcome. In some cases, it may be necessary to consult with a licensed electrical engineer or a code expert to obtain a professional opinion on the installation. These experts can provide a detailed analysis of the situation and offer recommendations for ensuring compliance with the applicable codes and standards. Ultimately, the goal is to ensure that the electrical panel is installed safely and in accordance with the NEC, while also addressing any concerns raised by the electrical inspector. While the NEC doesn't explicitly prohibit electrical panels in kitchens, the working space requirements and general safety regulations must be carefully considered. We remember that local codes or amendments may exist that are more restrictive than the NEC. It's always a good idea to check with the local authorities having jurisdiction or urge to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. In addition to the NEC requirements, there may be other considerations that influence the placement of an electrical panel in a kitchen. For example, the location of plumbing, gas lines, and other utilities may impact the available space and the feasibility of installing a panel in a particular area. The layout of the kitchen, including the placement of cabinets, appliances, and countertops, may also affect the accessibility and safety of the panel. In some cases, it may be necessary to relocate the panel to a different location to ensure compliance with the NEC and other applicable codes. This could involve running new wiring and making other modifications to the electrical system, which can be costly and time-consuming. Therefore, it's important to carefully plan the placement of the electrical panel during the design phase of the project, taking into account all relevant factors and consulting with qualified professionals. When installing an electrical panel in a kitchen, it's also important to consider the potential for moisture and humidity. Kitchens are often subject to higher levels of moisture than other areas of the home due to cooking, dishwashing, and other activities. This moisture can potentially damage electrical equipment and increase the risk of electrical shock. To mitigate this risk, it's important to ensure that the electrical panel is properly sealed and protected from moisture. This may involve using a weatherproof enclosure or installing a vapor barrier to prevent moisture from entering the panel. Additionally, it's important to avoid installing the panel in areas that are directly exposed to water, such as near a sink or dishwasher. Another important consideration is the potential for physical damage to the electrical panel. Kitchens are often busy areas with a lot of activity, and there's a risk that the panel could be accidentally bumped, hit, or otherwise damaged. To protect the panel from physical damage, it's important to install it in a location where it's not likely to be struck or impacted. This may involve recessing the panel into a wall or installing a protective barrier around it. Additionally, it's important to ensure that the panel is securely mounted and properly supported to prevent it from falling or shifting. In addition to the NEC and other applicable codes, there may be industry best practices that can help ensure the safe and reliable installation of an electrical panel in a kitchen. These best practices may include using high-quality materials and components, following manufacturer's instructions carefully, and conducting thorough testing and inspection after installation. It's also important to provide clear and accurate labeling for all circuits and components in the panel, so that electricians and other qualified personnel can easily identify and work on the system in the future. Another important aspect of electrical panel installation is grounding. Grounding is the process of connecting the electrical system to the earth, which helps to protect against electrical shock and prevent damage to equipment. The NEC requires that all electrical panels be properly grounded, and there are specific requirements for the size and type of grounding conductors that must be used. It's important to follow these requirements carefully to ensure that the electrical system is properly grounded and safe. In addition to grounding, surge protection is another important consideration for electrical panel installation. Surges are sudden spikes in voltage that can damage or destroy sensitive electronic equipment. Surges can be caused by lightning, power outages, or other electrical disturbances. To protect against surges, it's recommended to install a surge protective device, or SPD, at the electrical panel. SPD are designed to divert surge current away from sensitive equipment and safely dissipate it to ground. There are different types of SPD available, and it's important to choose one that's appropriate for the specific application and voltage level. Regular maintenance and inspection of the electrical panel are also essential for ensuring its continued safety and reliability. Over time, components in the panel can deteriorate, connections can loosen, and other problems can develop. These problems can lead to electrical hazards such as shocks, fires, and equipment failures. To prevent these problems, it's recommended to have the electrical panel inspected by a qualified electrician on a regular basis. The electrician can identify any potential problems and make the necessary repairs or replacements to ensure that the panel is operating safely and efficiently. When performing maintenance or repairs on an electrical panel, it's important to follow all safety precautions and use appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE. This may include wearing insulated gloves, safety glasses, and other protective gear. It's also important to energize the circuit before working on it to prevent the risk of electrical shock. If you're not comfortable working on electrical equipment, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to have the necessary training and experience to perform it safely. In summary, while there's no outright ban on placing electrical panels in kitchens, meticulous adherence to NEC regulations, especially concerning working space, grounding, and protection from physical damage and moisture, is paramount. Inspectors might raise concerns based on interpretations of these codes, particularly regarding the proximity of water sources like sinks. Addressing these concerns involves a thorough understanding of the NEC, documenting compliance, seeking clarification from authorities, and potentially consulting with electrical experts. Regular maintenance and inspection are also essential to ensure the panel's continued safety and reliability. Remember to consult local amendments to the NEC, as these may impose stricter requirements. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that the electrical panel is installed safely and in compliance with all applicable codes and standards.